Hi, this is Nolan from Benchmark, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to set up a Hemisphere S631 with an external radio in FieldGenius. So what I'm going to do to begin here is I've already opened up the project I want to be working in, and I'm going to click on that Select Instrument option on the left side of my screen. Now within the Instrument Profiles menu, I'm going to be making a new profile. If you already have an existing one, you can connect to that one. But in my case, I'm going to be making a new profile, so I'm going to click on Add Profile. Now within my new Instrument Profile menu here, I'm going to make sure that I'm selected on GNSS reference and that my make is set to Hemisphere. Now it's going to default for the 631 for the time being, so I'm going to leave that as is and click on Create in the bottom right corner. And I can now set up my GNSS reference profile. As this is a new profile, the first thing I'm going to want to do here is set up my communication. So I'm going to click on Set Up Communication and look for my available Bluetooth devices. Now you're going to see here that I have multiple devices pop up in my surrounding area, but I'm going to want to click on the one that matches the serial number on the bottom of my receiver that matches it, so the name is the same as that serial number. In my case, I know mine ends in 2057, so I'm going to select it from my list here and click on Connect. And once my receiver is connected, I can proceed with my setup here. So the first step is to click on Setup Tolerance. Now for my bass, it's not really going to matter what my tolerance is set to, so I typically recommend leaving your reference tolerances at the default minimums and clicking OK in the bottom right corner. And I now have to set up my antenna height. So if I go into this menu here, I'm going to have to enter a measured height, but most importantly, I'm going to want to make sure that my measured point is set correctly. So in my case, right now it's set to bottom of antenna mount. When my bass is on a tripod, I like to use the slant height mark to get around the tri-brac. So I'm going to click on my height mark slant, and I measured mine to 1.523 meters tall. So I'm going to click on that, click on OK in the bottom right corner to set that antenna height. And I'm now ready to move on to setting my reference position. Now I'm going to, for the point of this video, do an observed or average position. So I'm going to click on Observe here, click on Start, and I'll average about 30 points. And once I've recorded my 30 points here, I'm going to click on Stop to stop the averaging, and Done, where I'm going to be prompted to save my points. So I'll just save it to my project here. And then my final step is, and this is the step where I'm actually going to set up my external radio, is to set up my corrections. So if we click on Set Up Corrections here, we're going to be greeted with that RTK via radio. So we'll click on Set Up Communication, and we can see here that it defaults to the internal device or the internal radio. Now, since I'm using an external radio, I'm going to be sending these corrections over a serial cable directly to the radio here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Device here. I'm going to click on Other Device, and you're going to see now that my device port is set to serial, which is what I want. It's going to be piping it out of the 5-pin port on my S631. And then the final step here is to set my baud rate. So in my case, I'm going to set mine to 115200, as that's what matches my external radio. You're going to want to select the same baud rate as the serial link rate on your radio. And once you have that set, you're going to click on Done. And now we need to set up our correction format, where for the 631, your best performing message type is going to be RTCM3 MSM. So I'm going to click that from the menu, click on Done, and click Start Transmitting. And if everything has gone correctly with your setup, you should begin to see the radio light, which is the second light from the left on your 631, begin to flash. And then the TX light, or the transmit light on your radio, should also begin to flash shortly. So I'm now ready to click on Done at the bottom of my instrument profile and begin setting up my rover or begin my survey or whatever else I am doing today with this external radio. But for now, that is everything in today's video. That is how you set up an external radio inside of Microsurvey's FieldGenius on the 631. And if you have a moment, I'd please ask you to hit that subscribe button down below. It really does help us out and helps me keep making these videos. And if you have any questions about anything you've seen in today's video, feel free to leave a comment down below. Shoot us an email at nolan@bench-mark.ca or give us a call at 1-888-286-3204.